Hello, my friends. It's me, Dr. Missy Hillock, and I am here to provide you with a beautiful, powerful, supportive, energetic update for the week of April 12th through 18th, 2026. And I'm going to do that, as always, with the use of some magical and informative oracle cards. Those really help us get into the energy, both within us and around us. It's a great way to sort of see what's coming, a great way that spirit can share messages with us. And before I get into the reading for this week, I just wanted to take a moment to reflect on the week that has just ended. I don't know about you, but it was kind of a doozy for me, and not in any major ways, more in subtle ways, but these moments, these highs and lows, these moments that really reminded me, first of all, I'm still human. I don't have all the answers. I don't have it figured out. And even broader, there are things that I'm never ever going to understand as I sit in this human body, that only we in our true full spirit form, united with divine consciousness, will really understand how all the pieces fit together. So it's been a very human week for me, having moments to see where on my spiritual path and on my journey I've really evolved and moved through some things and let some old ideas and stories fall behind me. And then where I still have a lot of work to do, where there's still moments for me to reflect, to go inward, to have a moment of a shift in perspective, and to really be present with what's within my own heart, but also how I interact with those around me. And so when I got the cards for this week, I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed to hear, just to bring myself back into focus and remember where we're all headed, why we're here doing this journey to begin with. And so I hope that you'll find this message really supportive for you this week. And so let's dig in and see what's come up. So the first deck that I've pulled from, one of my favorites, the Shaman's Dream. This is always a deck that just kind of goes deep. It really speaks to my soul. When I want a message, when I'm feeling kind of tender, this is a deck that I go to often. And the card that came up is card number 27, Heart, Home, Compassion. Really, I could have just stopped right there with, again, what I've been experiencing energetically. And I feel like what this coming week is bringing. This card is a deep one in that, again, let's look at the image. Let's read the message here. Heart, home, compassion. This is a reminder to return to our heart, to return to ourself, to return to our source of love, right? Both in us as we are love, but also our divine creator, the all that is, right? The purest essence of energy is love. And what this card is reminding us of is this element of compassion, this deepest feeling of love that doesn't have conditions, right? Because it's easy to love when we really like something and when we value it and when we appreciate it. It's harder to love when we are in judgment, when we see things we'd like to change, when something or someone isn't exactly how we would prefer them to be. It can be harder to love, right? Or when we feel like someone has maybe crossed a line or a boundary and they're no longer worthy of our love, right? There's this missing piece there that wants us to keep our heart closed sometimes in those moments. And so this is really a call for compassion. Compassion is really unbridled love. It's loving even when someone's ticked you off, even when someone's disappointed you. It's loving yourself when you've let yourself down, when you've made a commitment to yourself or you've set a goal and you've fallen short. It's loving yourself anyway. It is being this eternal source of love, this compassionate love that loves you, that loves others in their moments of weakness, in their moments of trouble, when they stumble, when they don't deserve it, right? According to our judgment. And this is a really beautiful thing because, of course, when this starts within, because our inner world is a reflection of our outer world, this changes everything. So this is a call to go within your own heart, return home, return to your energetic portal that connects you with your maker, right? Connects you with divine source consciousness always, that has all the answers, that is a place where we can get back to 0 point. We can neutralize the good, the bad, and the ugly, everything swirling around us, and just go inward and to fall into that deep love and compassion. And notice even the imagery here. There are butterflies. Think about the butterfly as a symbol of transformation, also a symbol of spring. And of course, the beautiful spray of flowers here. So this is I think a really great message for spring, but also in this time that we're in, where everything's coming alive, things are bursting at the seams, things are, it's a very action-oriented time, but it's also a time when there's a lot of turbulence happening in the world, and things are changing really quickly in big ways, and there are big moves being made across the globe, and it can be very scary. And certainly we all usually put on our judgmental hats and we start making decisions about what's right and wrong and good and evil and what's for us and not for us. And this is a call to go back, to take that hat off, to take that step back and go in and to lean in with your own thoughts and energy, with compassion, but also extending that compassion out to others. I know for me, I had a lot of opportunities this last week to really put that in action and to see where I'm still struggling with that, especially as it relates to others, when I feel like someone is not my person or not treating me with the respect that I would prefer. And we go into defensive modes when those things happen, right? Instead of us being our kind, most compassionate, best self, I know me, kind of shut down, right? And I don't want to be that person. I don't want to shut down. I don't want someone else's limitations or shortcomings or ability to see me to impact my light, right? So this is an invitation to really be aware of those things and give yourself first beautiful compassion related to that, and where you're struggling, where you're still working toward opening and releasing some ideas and some ways of being. And then you can extend that to others, right? So this second card, again, really supportive here for what we're doing. This is from the Archangel's Oracle by Kyle Gray. And I have the spot marked because I want to read a little passage specifically on this card that I thought was really important. But the card that came through is Metatron. So heaven to earth. Your current situation is in alignment with your mission on earth. So if you don't know about Metatron, Metatron is an archangel. He's one of only 2 angels that are thought to have first existed as humans. So from the angelic realms, typically we think of that form of spirit as never have been human. But Metatron is said to have been Enoch and to have ascended so much in human form that he became an archangel. And he is said to sit on the throne of God as well, so very close. And he's also the one to guide us on our ascension journey. And Metatron is also, if you can see the imagery behind him, you can see the sacred geometry, the triangles, the circles, the Merkaba, all of this sacred geometry. So really, Metatron helps us see the interconnection of all things, the way all the puzzle pieces fit together, sort of like what I was saying, what I feel like as a human, I'm never going to understand how it all fits together. I'm never going to have that full eagle eye view to see it all in its completeness and oneness, because my human egoic mind is limited. But Metatron holds that energy. Metatron has the wisdom of sacred geometry to know how it's all connected, to know how it's all happening for you, for me. Even the big, messy, ugly stuff of the world, the wars, the hatred, the prejudice, the poverty, the instability, all the things that when we look around our world, we have an opportunity to see the many pains and shortcomings of what's happening in societies globally. And yet, at some level, if you believe in unity consciousness, if you believe in this idea that we all came down here to play around on this beautiful planet so that our souls could take back knowledge and expansion and wisdom, that's what Metatron is bringing here. This reminder that it is all divinely planned and that sometimes things get messy. before they get better. That, as a matter of fact, we're in an energetic portal right now, globally and human consciousness wise, where there are so many upgrades, there are so many shifts and breakdowns of old ways of being and systems and all of the structures that have held a lot of our modern society. And we're at this culmination point where so many of these things are shifting and will have to break down. They'll have to implode or explode in order for new things to come from that. And we're all really feeling that. Like I said, just turn on the news 5 minutes, you'll see how that's playing out. And so I wanted to read a passage related to this card, if you were to reference the deck, that really hit me in relation to this message and what I'm sharing with you now. It says, you might feel you're on a roller coaster and be unsure if you should continue or not, but there's a karmic alignment occurring, and therefore what you are facing and what you're pushing through now is absolutely in alignment with your mission. Energetically, there is a cleanup process unfolding, so it might feel a little bit messy or overwhelming, but trust that you're on the right path and your angel team is supporting you and your mission. And the reason this really moved me is because, again, I noticed that even this week already, these moments, this cleanup phase for me of like, ooh, girlfriend, here's still some little spots where you are really being in judgment, or you're really having a hard time keeping your heart open, keeping your mind open. And it's almost like, you think the more we are on the spiritual path, the easier this stuff gets. And I would say to some degree that's partly true. But what's also true is the more clean things get. Think about when you wash your car and you're looking at it in the garage, you're like, that's one sexy car. Look how great my car looks. And then you notice one little speck. Maybe it's one little streak on the dash, or maybe it's a little bird poop or something on it. And that's all you see, like, oh my gosh, look at that spot. It's like when we are so clean, when we are so light, sometimes the little messy spots really stick out like a sore thumb. Okay. So if you're noticing this in yourself or in your environment and you feel like you're getting kind of nitpicky with what's going on, know too that that's sort of normal. This is this opportunity to still find the little threads, the little weeds, the little nuances of life where there's still a little bit of cleanup to do as you fully transition into this more expanded way of being. And again, I relate this to the global stuff as well, this roller coaster that we're all on, the highs and lows, certainly the opportunities for things to be cleaned up, to be removed, to be changed, so that new things can come in its place. And then the last card I pulled, which I loved on the heels of these two cards, I pulled this from the Healing Energy Oracle. I really love this deck because it gives this really great light code on each card. So not only is there a message, but there's a light code that can be really activating when you take a moment to look at it there and receive the message. So the card is joy, and the message says, like a child, I discover joy in the simplicity of life. Happiness lies in magical moments, not in the material. Even the smallest joy is a great source of light. And first of all, when I pulled this, it reminded me of today's lesson in A Course in Miracles, which I read each day, and I've been doing so the last several years. So today's message was, God's will for me is perfect happiness. Okay, God's will for me is perfect happiness. Well, what does that mean? That means all that God wants for me is perfect happiness all the time, pure bliss. Anything that else that happens is kind of me getting dug down into the density of it. And the return to God, the return to unity consciousness, the return to perfection is following this bliss, right? So another way to say that is following your joy. So on the heels of these two other really powerful cards about returning to compassion, returning to the heart, and also knowing that this process that we're going through of kind of returning to the heart and moving through some of the ugly stuff and the unwanted stuff is all natural. It's all aligned for us, and it is moving us toward beautiful joy. And joy is such a medicine for our soul to follow the moments that bring joy. And it's not just about big things like, wow, I'm going to go on this trip, or I'm going to buy this thing I've been saving for a long time, or wow, I'm going to get a great home. Those are like big, big, big joys, but those things take a lot of time and they're not as frequent. It's the little joys that make every day worth living. Today I had a moment where I was going in my house. I'd returned from our business and was walking in the house, and I just noticed how loud the birds were. And I just had a moment of appreciation for the bird song and how vibrant spring is right now and how green everything is and things starting to bloom. That gives me so much joy. Or having your favorite beverage, or taking a moment to close your eyes and meditate, even if it's for 3 minutes, feeling gratitude, all those things. They can be such small little moments, but you can pepper your day with those moments. And when you look around, you got a whole meal of joy, right? So remember, friends, this is what it's all about. This is what you're all about, what I'm all about, why we came here. We came here to live in perfect happiness. And yes, we struggle and we have moments where that's not always what we are seeing and experiencing, but that is our path, right? That's the task in front of us, is to find as much of that as we can. So I hope that you'll take that on this week as you explore and play with whatever life is bringing you. And I look forward to, of course, seeing you every Sunday with these beautiful messages. If you like this message and you want to make sure you don't miss any of them, you can follow me here on my YouTube channel. You can also subscribe to my mailing list, where you'll get some really beautiful goodies sent directly into your inbox a few times each week. And thanks so much. I hope you have an amazing week ahead of you. Bye.